So I've been kind of critical of the DCEU lately, but there's one thing that I have not been critical of. That's Peacemaker and the last Suicide Squad movie, the James Gunn Suicide Squad movie. So Peacemaker is a HBO Max uh, series that I really really enjoyed. I don't have HBO Max, so I bought the series and absolutely loved it. Loved the Suicide Squad. Loved the way John Cena uses the character. And I bought the Peacemaker Tries Hard issue 1, and then somehow I missed issues 2 and 3 first. My very small comic shop does not pre-order this one, and I was not finding it, and I just kind of forgot about it. But I really enjoyed this issue. They also did a Peacemaker Disturbing the Peace by Garth Ennis. I thought it was a very interesting take, but ultimately found it kind of unsatisfying. But this is issue 4, so I have missed issues 2 and 3. I will try to get issue 5, but I'll just probably just get the compilation version. But I wanted to just talk about this because I find this to be one of the most hilarious comics I have ever read. It is a very edgy comic. This is the kind of stuff I think Black Label should be doing. And anyone who has watched any of my discussions on my website or my YouTube channel about comics knows that I'm a huge fan of Tom King. And one thing I didn't really understand, maybe he just doesn't like to use profanity, uh, but his Black Label comics doesn't seem like they needed to be Black Label. Or maybe I just don't understand what the Black Label imprint is. Um, so this is written by, let's see here, Kyle Sparks, and apparently Kyle Sparks does not have the same kind of uh, avoidance of profanity. And although I try to avoid profanity on my YouTube channel, um, I might show some. So be warned. Also, I'm not going to attempt to uh, avoid spoilers. So I mean, it's a comedy comic. So if you don't want to get spoiled, then don't watch this. So anyway, I don't know what happened, but they're meeting with Peacemaker and Red B, who was a Red B was a Golden Age hero who's apparently still alive because heroes tend to age differently. They're meeting with General Immortus because they want to find the brain and Mala, the ape. And General Immortus is another Doom Patrol villain, just like Brain and Mala, and he is immortal. And Doom Patrol had some really cool villains. So this is one of the parts in here that really cracked me up. They're trying to convince him to tell where the brain is, and he refuses. And so finally, apparently they had pre-planned this. He threatens General Mortis. If you don't tell me, I'm going to shove this napkin dispenser all the way up your old wrinkled ass. And General Immortus goes through the fact that he is basically immortal, and he's lived countless years with endless time. And he says, "Do you honestly think that in all my long life, I've never had a napkin dispenser in my rectum? Do you really consider that a threat to me?" So they continue the threat, and finally he says, "All right, yeah, it's actually really uncomfortable." So he does back down. Um, they find a plane, and uh, one of the I think he's one of the Blackhawks, which was a DC group of pilots from the 1940s, and although I'm not sure if they were owned by DC, they might have been like Quality Comics or something, and so Peacemaker's a little incredulous about the ages. First of all, he doesn't understand even how Red B is still alive if he fought in World War II. But they say, well, heroes age differently. And he says, well, what about you? How could you have fought in World War II? And I think he's, I don't know, 92 or something like that, or some such age. And then they do a flashback to 1940s, and one of the Blackhawks says, "Listen, Johnny, you got what it takes to fly with us, no question. But are you sure you're 18?" And he says, "Absolutely." So clearly he's like, I don't know, 10, 12 years old. Um, and then we have a classic joke. So this is a flashback to 1940s, and there's the Red Bee and one of the soldiers in his platoon. says, uh, they're sending us because we haven't lost, oh, geez, a man yet, and we never lose. We're the best squad in the whole outfit. And so the obvious joke is they're all going to die. And in the next picture, for the next uh, page, he says, "Oh God, no!" as the war wheel comes along and just blasts them all. And I love the art. The art is so good. I think that the art really complements the writing. Very nice. I don't know how this comic is selling, but I think when I read the dialogue by Peacemaker's dialogue, I absolutely put John Cena's voice in there because this is very similar to the character, although way more out there than in the TV show. Because when you're in comics, you could pretty much do anything. And so we have the return of one of the most ludicrous villains in DC history, Snowflame, the cocaine-powered supervillain smuggler. Yes, we said cocaine-powered. And so he literally has like looks like cocaine on his face, and he's touching his nose, and he's just all hyper. Snowflame was a villain from the 1990s. I guess he was used at least once more. I think he's only used in a joking manner, but he's just like coked out and crazy at this point. So he does a lot. I think there he is. He's literally just jamming his face into a big table full of cocaine, and says, fuel me, my I don't even know what that word is. Cumulonimbus stimulant cloud. Oh, cumulonimbus. Okay. Sorry, like the cloud. And so there he's just getting all amped up on his cocaine. Oh, also we discovered that Red Bee's bees are quite powerful. And there he is. One of the bees is doing a chest press. Although I don't think bees have chests. But he's doing a little benching. So yet again, Snowflame. There's at least one video online just talking about Snowflame and how ridiculous he is. And he once again jams his face into this table full of cocaine, except that Peacemaker slipped some poison frogs in there, and the poison frog goes up his nose. And Peacemaker says, "Suck on that. No one tries to feed me or my friends to piranhas." And then Red Bee says, "Did you Mickey his cocaine with a poison frog?" He says, "Yeah, but I feel real bad for that frog." Oh, wait, there it is. It's fine. So that's the end of well, that's not the end. We get a little extra part here where there's the Brain and Mala, and he says to Deathstroke, "Are you ready for forthcoming violence and destruction?" And Deathstroke says, "I was born ready." So I guess we're going to have Peacemaker versus Deathstroke in the final issue. This is a 5-part miniseries, and I think it is both hilarious and I love the artwork. I just think that this is a really great series. So if you haven't been following along with it, if you haven't been buying it, maybe consider picking up the compilation. I may go back, and this is the alternate. These are the alternate covers, I believe. So I may go back and get the issues 2 and 3, even though I'll be double dipping if I get the compilation. This is another one in here where he says that Bruce Wayne has been kidnapped, and she has to describe, and he's Bruce Wayne because she seems a bit incredulous. He says he's a fancy boy, very handsome, perfect little nose, looks like he's wearing a nice suit. She says, "That's definitely him." And so she finally discovers that he's referring to his dog, that he is named Bruce Wayne. His dog got kidnapped, and so she opens up and considers pressing the button to detonate the explosive in his head. So anyway, that's Peacemaker Tries Hard, issue 4. I highly recommend this series. I'm not collecting much at this point, but this is one that I really do enjoy.